let's talk about all the books I read this year so far. Okay, so today we're doing another book video since you guys seem to like those a lot. I promise you I'm not becoming a book content creator. I just love talking about books. Unfortunately for me, I am in a book slump. Nothing major. Well, kind of. In March, I read like 6 books, and in April, I read one singular book. Uno. Eins. Anyways, that's been tough, but I wanted to talk to you guys about all the books that I've read this year so far. We are in May, and I have read 11 books, which is pretty damn nice considering last year I read 13 books. I was gonna say only, but that feels weird because there's some people out there that don't read a singular book. I just feel like with the whole like book talk and book content creator things that I feel like pressured to read more, when in reality there's no competition and reading one book a year is better than not reading at all. And at the end of the day, nobody cares how many books you read. So anyways, today we're gonna talk about those 11 books that I read so far this year. I think we're gonna go in chronological order because it's just makes more sense to me. First book I read this year was actually one that I started last year, but I finished it like January 1st or something. And it was The Score by Elle Kennedy. It's the 3rd book in the Off-Campus series, which, spoiler alert, I have yet to finish. This one is my 2nd favorite. I think I remember it. I gave it like 5 stars when I read it, but now thinking back, probably gonna give it 4.75. I mean, it's cute little hockey romance, but it's nothing crazy, nothing revolutionary, nothing, you know, to get palate cleanser if you're looking for that. I love Dean and Allie. I think they're super cute together. Allie wants to become an actress, and well, Dean is a hockey player, and he is kind of sort of figuring his life out because he doesn't want to pursue hockey after college, which I found interesting because usually they want to become like professional hockey players in a lot of hockey romance, but Dean wasn't interested in that. And yeah, I think their love story is really cute. Had so much fun reading this book. Oh, Bo, I'm not gonna spoil it, but Bo really hit me. And yeah, this is my 2nd favorite in the series because the first one is, well, unbeatable, really. I really love Elle Kennedy's writing. It's really simple, but really, really good. Really, yeah, does the job. And then the 2nd book I read is a bit controversial because I didn't love it, but not because it's bad, it's just because I had such high expectations for it. And the book is Binding 13. Do you see this brick of a book? 800 pages. For some reason, I thought this was gonna be a lacrosse book, and I don't know if you guys know, but Teen Wolf is my favorite show. You can't even see the poster over there, and I love lacrosse-related stuff. I've never even watched a lacrosse match. I just loved the lacrosse part in Teen Wolf, so I was like, give me it. But it's about football. American football? Rugby? I don't know. It's not my football that I like, what you guys call soccer. No, it's American football or rugby, and it has like Irish slang and stuff. It's based in Ireland, I think. So I had a hard time reading the names because 1, English is not my first language, 2, Ireland. So what I found disappointing is that everybody was raving about this and saying that it's the most life-changing book ever, and it was just like reading fan fiction. It felt like I was reading a Wattpad book, and I don't know, I wasn't like head over heels for it. I was just like, yeah, right, it's great, but it's nothing whoa, you know. I give it 3.5 stars because I think that the story is interesting, and I'm definitely gonna read the 2nd book. I'm sorry if you can hear my mom. She's like using the blender and it's really loud, but the woman loves to cook, so let her cook. Anyways, and I'm for sure gonna read the 2nd book sometime in the future. Right now, I don't really feel like I could handle a 100-page book. Also, one thing I didn't love was the way that the female main character was described a lot of the times. Like, she was described as this fragile little thing that could fly away with the wind, and I don't know. I mean, it's good, but I had such high expectations, so it did disappoint. The next book I read, oh, and those 2 books I read in January. So in January, I only read 2 books, and then in February, I read, I think 2, don't remember. But it took me forever to finish this one, which is Shatter Me by Muffy. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Sorry if I don't. I'm not going to talk too much about this book because I don't like talking shit about a book that I didn't necessarily enjoy. Spoiler alert, I did not enjoy this very much. I gave this 2.5 stars because I found the beginning interesting and I enjoyed like the first 20% of the book. But I just felt like it went downhill from there. I don't read a lot of fantasy. I think I read 2 fantasy books in my entire life, so maybe I'm just not used to that genre. I just felt like their world wasn't explained well enough. I was confused a lot of the times. Yeah, I also knew that she was gonna end up with Aaron. This book, I was just like not rooting for her and Adam. I was just like, nope, I didn't like Adam. I think somebody on Fable described him as a dry biscuit, and that's just what he is, nothing great. And I also didn't like Aaron either, and I also just don't know much about the female main character, but neither does she, and that was a problem for me. I couldn't relate to the characters, I couldn't, you know, so that's why I didn't enjoy it. And I know that I'm not the target audience for this book. I'm no longer like I was gonna say teenage girl, but I am 19. And maybe if I read this when I was 14, 13, 12, whatever, I would have loved this, just not for me. And I will not continue the series because I don't think it's worth it for me to read so many books. I didn't enjoy it. But the next one was actually a pleasant surprise because I came back to what I know and love best, which is hockey romance books. And I read The Goal by Elle Kennedy, which is the 4th book in the Off-Campus series. And everybody said that this was their least favorite book in the series because there's pregnancy trope and everybody seems to hate it. I, for some reason, loved it. And maybe it was because I had such low expectations for it, but I loved every second of it. I really did love it. I gave it a 4.5 stars. I loved Sabrina, our female main character, and Tucker, both really great characters. Again, he didn't want to pursue hockey after college, which I found really interesting. And Sabrina as a character, I found her so interesting and so intellectual, and I love that about her. And oh, when they had the kid, it was really cute, and the whole process, the whole pregnancy process, I found really interesting, and the way they handled it, I loved it, and just the way they communicated really well with each other. Well, sorta. Could have been better, but it was so good. I really enjoyed it. To be honest, my least favorite book in the Off-Campus series is the second one, because if the first, the third, and the fourth are really good, and the second one just nah. So this one was a pleasant surprise and was exactly what I was needing. Those were the books I read in February, and then we jump into March, which was by far, so far, my best reading month. I started by reading Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams, and I had zero expectations for this book because I remember reading When in Rome last year, which is the first book in the When in Rome series, and I didn't like it. So I was like, I'm probably not gonna like this either. Oh boy, was I wrong. I was so wrong. This is a fake dating trope, and I recently found out that I love fake dating trope. I need fake dating to happen in my life the way it happens in this book and the book that I'm gonna talk to you guys in a second. Oh, but it's so good. This book is about Annie, who owns a flower shop, and I don't know what to say without spoiling it too much, but she has some troubles in her love life. And Will is Amelia's bodyguard, even though he doesn't like being called a bodyguard. Amelia is the pop star in the When in Rome book. And Annie is Will's sister from the first book. And I don't know, I just love their relationship dynamic and the way they just communicated everything so well. I hate miscommunication, but these two didn't have an inch of miscommunication. Everything they had, all the problems they had, they solved them by communicating, and I thought that that was beautiful. Ugh, and so well, the things he does for her, I was giggling and kicking my feet. I gave this 5 stars. This was such a pleasant surprise. Ugh, I wish I could reread this for the very first time. Really recommend this one. If you want to read any of the books I will be talking about in this video, I recommend this one above. I was gonna say all of them, but not all of them, but this one's really good. Really good. And then I came back to hockey romance because I've just been reading hockey romance back to back to back. I've been taking a break from hockey romance in April, and maybe that's why I didn't read so much. Maybe I need to come back. I feel like it's calling my name again, so might read some hockey romance in May. But I started the Briar U series, and I read The Risk. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I don't know how people feel about The Risk. Oh, it's called The Chase, not The Risk. But I did read that one too, but we'll talk about that later. I don't know how people feel about The Chase. Me personally, I feel like Summer is a great character. She's very interesting. Summer De Laurentiis is Dean's sister, which she's his sister, appears in this book. Yeah, she's a very interesting character, very lovable. I related to her in a lot of different aspects, and I really liked her. But the male main character, on the other hand, I wanted to kick him in the... He was pissing me off. He was rude for no reason. I really didn't like him. I really did not like him. And it was sort of a love triangle, but not really. You knew from the beginning that she was gonna end up with Fitzy and not with Hunter. And I just didn't like that. At the end, I was happy with the book. Like, I accepted that they were gonna end up together no matter what. But I was just like, meh. You know, it's nothing crazy. And I feel like when you're not necessarily rooting for the main couple of a book to get together, then you know. So I give this 3.5. I really didn't like Fitzy. Not interesting, rude, mean, has zero emotional intelligence if you ask me, but hey, who am I to, you know. And then I read a revolutionary book. A book that changed my life forever. I read Funny Story by Emily Henry. It was the first time I ever read an Emily Henry book. Oh boy, oh boy. This is again fake dating. This is Daphne and this is Miles. I love Miles and I love Daphne, and I love them together. Basically, they start fake dating because her ex-fiance is now dating his ex-girlfriend. I don't remember if they were also engaged, but again, both their exes were like best friends, and they cheated on them with each other. Does that make sense? I don't know. Emily Henry had me gasping in the first 5 pages. She's that good. Just completely fell in love with her writing, the way she describes things, and it's so poetic yet so simple. She doesn't use like too many metaphors that you just don't understand. It's so beautiful, and her romance is like more than just a romance, but still romance. Does that make any sense? I feel like I'm just yapping and I'm not making much sense, but beautiful, beautiful. And I love Emily Henry. Miss Emily Henry, you've changed my life forever. I gave this 5 stars. 5 fucking stars. This woman, I worship the ground she walks on. And I read like 1 book by her. Well, we'll get on that later. And then I read 2 books that I don't have physically. I read them online. I read The Risk and the Dare, the play. I don't know, the next 2 books in the Briar U series. And I read those back to back. I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember much. I remember that, I don't remember her name. Was her name Danny? No, one of the girls was named Demi, and I remembered that because I remember I associated her with Demi Lovato, and she started dating Hunter, and that was in the Dare, I think. And I remember she had a really shitty ex-boyfriend, and she started not tutoring Hunter. Did she? I don't remember. And the other one was about Jake, and what's her name, for fuck's sake? Jesus. The Risk. Brenna and Jake Connolly. Brenna is the coach's daughter, and she starts dating Jake, who is a player from the opponent's team, the enemy basically, and she starts dating the enemy, a whole like Romeo and Juliet thing. And their relationship is really cute. They're like enemies to lovers, but not really. I've never really read like a real like enemies to lovers book, but their relationship was so cute. And oh, what I loved was Brenna's relationship with her dad, the way it developed through the book. It had me crying a little bit at the end because that was just so beautiful. But other than that, I don't remember much of the book. I remember really liking it, and I remember rating it, I think I gave it like a 4.5 because I liked it so much. Thinking back, probably would give it 4 stars because I don't remember a lot from it. And then I read is it the play, The Dare? I get those names confused all the time. What? Am I dumb? Yeah, the play where it's Hunter and Demi's book. I don't remember much from it, to be honest. I remember I really liked Hunter and Demi. And again, I think I gave it a 4.5, but again, I would give it a 4 now because I don't remember much from it. But I remember liking it. But again, it's just a simple like hockey romance, nothing crazy. And those were all the books I read in March. Maybe I'm forgetting something. I don't know. Anyways, moving on to, well, April, my worst reading month, where my slump started. And I read another great book. I just don't know why I got into a slump, honestly. Anyways, I read Beg, Borrow, or Steal by Sarah Adams, which is the third, probably not final book in the When in Rome series, because I think she might be writing another book for the other sister. Again, she's the sister. These two girlies, they're sisters. Yeah, basically they're, again, it's enemies to lovers, but not really. It's more in their head, enemies to lovers. They're like teachers, both authors, but they don't know. The beginning was a bit slow for me, I'm not gonna lie. But then it was so good. They have such great chemistry. Again, good communication skills. Fell in love with it. This is the story of Emily and Jack. And again, they're both teachers and they teach at the same elementary school, I think it is. And they used to be rivals in college. They hated each other, or so you think, in college. And they work at the same school, and then he leaves, but then he comes back to the city, and she's determined to sort of send him back to, I think it was in Alaska, Atlanta. Something far away and cold, I don't know. Really great book. Sarah Adams is a really great author. I just didn't love When in Rome. Happened. It's not for everybody. And I gave this a 4.5 stars, I think. Because again, the beginning was a little slow for me and I didn't love it. But it's really, really good. It's really, really good. And then, oof, I hate to say this, but I read another Emily Henry book. And it's a very popular one. And it's one that people love. And I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. And it's Happy Place. It took me genuinely a month to finish this, and I think I read it at the wrong time. I don't know, because I can't really tell you why I didn't love this book as much as I did this one. Also, beautiful covers. Also, You're Sitting on Great Big Beautiful Life, which I haven't read and probably won't soon because everybody's hating on it too. I'm just anyways, I didn't love this and I don't know why. It genuinely just feels like it was the wrong time for me to read this. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of second chance romance, which is what this is about. Basically, it's about Win and Harriet's relationship, and basically they were engaged but broke up, and their friends don't know about it. And while they're all reunited at their happy place to celebrate Barth and Sabrina's wedding because they're getting married. Well, they haven't told them that they're not together anymore. Again, I'm not a huge fan of second chance romance, and this felt like very slow at some times, but I do feel like I read this at the wrong time because I had to listen to the rest of the book because I listened to like this much of the book because I just couldn't read it anymore. I was tired of it because it was taking me so long to read it, and I do feel like how long you take to finish a book can make a really big difference on whether or not you like the book. And unfortunately, it took me like a month to read this, so I did not love it. I don't know, maybe if I had read this quicker, it would have been better. I'm maybe gonna give it a second chance one day in the near future. I don't know, because I can't wrap my head around what I didn't like because her writing was so beautiful again. Like, I remember she described how easy it was to love Win, the male main character, and she was like, loving him is easier than breathing. And then she was like, no, actually it's easier than breathing because sometimes you overthink it and then you forget how to do it. And I could never forget how to love Win. And that was like so beautiful, and just little things that she would write, and I was like flabbergasted by the way Emily Henry's mind works and how she writes, and it's so beautiful. But I was just not, it just didn't catch me, the story, and I don't know why, because I found the whole friendship really interesting. They were dynamic all together. It was really interesting, and I don't know, I read it at the wrong time, possibly. I don't know, but I gave it a 3.5 stars. And maybe it's because I had high expectations for it because, again, everybody raves about this book. I don't know, genuinely don't know. But yeah, that sums up all the books I've read so far this year. Again, we're just in May, so hopefully many more to come. If you have any book recommendations that you think I would like, please leave them in the comments because, again, my book slump is hitting really hard, and I do love reading, but I just haven't, had a book that, yeah, if you want to see more book content from me, let me know. Make sure you subscribe and follow me on my other social media to see other content that I might be posting. I might be doing book content on TikTok. I don't know. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys soon, hopefully. I have to put them back in now. Oh well. Isn't that fucking phenomenal?